Hello everybody, I am back today with UberChic Beauty Collection 26. Alright, so if you just want a quick look at what this looks like, let's take a look there. Lots of fun stuff for summer, I think. And then here is 2603, because I'm out of order. So sorry about that. Of course I could just, edit this, so maybe that's what I'll do. And here is 2602. Oh, I love, squiggles, yes. Alright, so let's take a closer look and I will talk about some quick ideas for using the plate, and then we will get into some swatching. Alright, so we've got some fun stars and some florals and leaves. Love these kind of, this isn't a daffodil, but it reminds me, I think, is it a daffodil? Is it like just a big daffodil? I don't know. The point is, it's really cool to have the layering images that you can play around with on that. Lots of these like little flourishes and different kinds of florals, and florals are really big in clothes right now. So I think it's really cool to be able to use like a bunch of these different florals to match up to prints on, all kinds of dresses. And I see like florals out there that have like big prints combined with little prints, so definitely mix and match in that way. Swirls, I love the kind of visual illusion 3D, and I love how this is straight on, but then this is like at an angle, so you can kind of play around with those visual effects with that. I think that's fun. Scribbles, I think scribbles go really well, especially like with these kinds of flowers. I'm sure that's not a coincidence that she put that on there. A little layering one, some dragonflies. So you could easily mix and match. Like you could do one pass stamping with this, and then stamp these over on top, like especially with reverse stamping. I love to do something like have this image here and then reverse stamp just one with a different color and pop it up over the top. So you could have like a light blue base and then have this like in a light green stamped on top of it, and then pop one, boom, in like a darker green. Same thing kind of like with these leaves. Do a lighter pattern here and then stamp that over in a darker. Love the mosaics. I want to see this over like a Squishmania of earth tones. That's all right. Let's take a look at 2602. Love these kind of wavy features, and so kind of looks like a really stylized wheat field to me. And of course, all of these different sizes. And then look at how this one almost has this Art Deco feel to it when you get into kind of that scale. Love that. You've got this layering image, so you can stamp this like in green and this in maybe yellow or whatever, or if you just want to stamp it all in one color, like say silver over a Smooshmania, you can do this over here. Smaller leaves to mix and match. With all of the florals that are coming out lately, I've noticed like bolder kind of earthy colors, and then stamped with the darker greens or blues, or not colors you would think necessarily. So like one of my favorites that I saw was like red with blue leaves and then a yellow flower. So I may actually recreate that for you because I really loved that. So play around with your different colors there. This is very futuristic. I would probably do this in like metallics over darker colors. I think this looks like the inside of a spaceship to me. I love it. These are, I guess they're like dollar signs, or they're kind of like a cross between S's and dollar signs, but then when you see them on here, it's like this chain link pattern, so that would be fun to play around with. And this is new, this thing that she's doing here, where she's also giving you like one dimension and then a different plane that you're looking at. So I'm gonna have some fun playing around with that because I haven't seen that before. Love, these always have sort of an Asian feel, these sorts of patterns to me. Love scribbles and love having the offset negative positive. This is another awesome layering image, so you can kind of get, like you could stamp this in a blue and then this in green over it. Can't tell I have blues and greens on the mind right now. But you could do it in pink and then white, or you could do it in yellows and greens. You could do it in earth tones depending on your time of year and the other kinds of images that if you want to mix and match. So play around with that. And then we've got like 3 different stages of mandala here, which is really cool. I really love the idea of like potentially layering them over each other and having them maybe just on different nails, kind of cascading, like well, you wouldn't really want to do the big one on your pinky, so maybe like a full nail image here and then the edge of a big one the edge of the smaller one, the edge of the smallest one, kind of like that. All right, so when I see this, now, lately I've done a couple videos for you showing you how to use like latex mani defender to mask stuff out. And she actually has this one, Edge Perfection, that is also just releasing. Sorry, we're just going into a different kind of thing here. But this has a smaller brush than some of the other mani defenders. So when I want to just highlight the fact that like you could go in, stamp this, then like mask out a couple of parts of this, and then stamp another image over it, stamp another pattern over it, and then you'd have these that just kind of stand out with the masking. Or you could do it kind of vice versa, mask around it and then just stamp over that to get a smaller pattern, like even a pattern like this in there. So play around with that, and I think the smaller brush makes those kinds of things a little bit easier too. And then let's take a look at 2603. I love this daisy pattern, and I love that you've got with and without leaves. So if you want to kind of go in and just have some of your nails without the leaves, some with, or you can go in if you want the bigger font but you still want the leaves, and stamp your leaves using that. So that's one of the really great things about all these little gewgaws, doodads, whatever that she gives you to play around with. Maybe I just have too much futuristic stuff on my brain, you know, because of like the Solo movie and stuff, I don't know, but this kind of looks futuristic to me. It looks like a futuristic logo, or even almost like a robot body. All right, yes, I'm a little bit weird. In my last couple of videos, I've mentioned a few of these, but like, look at how you've got these kinds of swirly images. I think this actually goes well with this, even though they're fairly different, because you've got this kind of angular swirly kind of deal to it. So mix and match stuff like that. And here's another one of those, like with this pattern, but then at a different plane, like it's going off into a distance. Same thing with like this and these. So I think there's some really interesting things we're going to play around and see if we can't figure some stuff out with this. I love this as a texture image, and then I love that she's got these that you could stamp over in a different color, use differently. Let me not forget the layering roses, which are always so awesome, and then kind of the lines of the leaves. So you could do, you know, you could have this, and then you could stamp, you know, your layering image over it, which this makes it so much easier for then this rose to show up over it without having to do reverse stamping. So you could stamp a couple roses on there. You could also on your nail do like just 2 lines of that, and then have your little roses going around it. And here's your vertical. Here's your negative space. So as always, the UberChic Beauty full nail images are 1.7 millimeters by 2.1 centimeters. And let me give you that shot there with the inches and the centimeters, or if they're going to be just right, the Goldilocks images. There you go. All right, let's go have some fun. All right, I'm going to start with this, which is Zoya Sandy. And there's that image. Beautiful. And there we go. All right, and there is that. Always talking about how you should use your opportunities, like anytime you have a dot pattern, to use it for a kind of a guided dotacure. So that's what I'm going to do here. So you could fill this whole thing with dots. You can just do what I did in 1 line. You could have 2 lines, however you want to do it. I wasn't sure I scraped off enough polish, but that came out really beautifully. There it is with the silver dragonflies. And then I have reverse stamped one I stamped in black, and I'm putting it at this angle to alternate the angle with the other dragonflies that are on there. There is that final look, and I love that with the like slightly purpley one kind of popping up off of the background. Let's go on to 2602. For the first look here, I'm using a neon orange with a little bit of holographic glitter. This is Scrunchie Tangerine from Shinespark Polish. There's the image, beautiful. And there's your final look. I love that because it is super easy, but also super fun and super bright for summer. For the second look, I want to do something fun and bold too. This is Moonflower Polish Lemon. There's the image, just gorgeous and bold. I waited a little too long, so I had a little pull off on the one side. But there you go, you can see the rest there. So that now gives kind of like a multi-dimensional effect to make this look a little bit more 3D. All right, let's move on to 2603. So this is a base of Zoya Marigold. And there's that image, that beautiful kind of scribble texture. I think that this is just a beautiful look on its own. I wish I had a skirt that had that kind of a design on it. You could also very easily come in and stamp like with another color here, like with white. All right, and then for my last look, I'm going to do some layering. So I'm starting just with Sally Hansen. This is Creme de la Creme. And there's that image there. Pretty vertical leaves there. And there's that first layer. And you can see I used a darker green so it shows up a little bit, but that's not going to be so visible once we stamp the second layer in black. There's that second layer. And see, now you can see with that black, I mean, if you look for it, you can see kind of a little bit of green under there, but you have to really be looking for it. So if you were to do this, if like you wanted to do this in a light pink and outline it in white or something like that, I would suggest using a much lighter green in the background. And there we go. So you could do, you know, just a couple in the corner. You could do a couple more over here. You can place them wherever you want, which is one of the really cool things about the layering images. Here is that dragonfly look we did. Here is that layered rose look. We've got the kind of the scribbles over the red. If you want something graphic, here is that double stamped over the yellow. And I personally just think that this is so fun for summer. Here's that final look with some dots. All right, I will link everything down below, and thank you for watching. Did I miss a layering image on this one? Did I miss a layering image? No, I didn't. Yes. No, I did not. Okay. And I am really digging this kind of whoosh kind of look that she's giving you to the patterns. So that's the technical term. I looked it up, the whoosh. Yeah, so you can like probably not quote me on that, but how did that start recording on its own? Oh my gosh.